cannot host these events without the generous support of our sponsors. Town Bank has been our series presenting sponsor for over 18 years now. It is now my honor to call Thomas Woodward, President of Town Bank Suffolk and Western Tidewater, to the stage and make remarks and introduce the mayor.
As a banker who's lived and worked here a long time, I've always taken great pride in serving the needs of this community. Businesses and families always have, always will. Now with Town Bank, we can offer so much more and do banking like we always have, with heart, serving others, enriching lives in every community we serve.
It is a pleasure for me to be here today to welcome you to the Suffolk State of the City Address. Town Bank is honored to once again be the presenting sponsor for this series. For many years, hundreds of business, civic, and community leaders from across Hampton Roads have come together for the state and city need. The Hampton Roads Chamber helps businesses thrive, and to do that, they provide an impressive variety of programs and support. The Chamber works hard to attract new businesses to our region, while at the same time helping existing businesses succeed and expand. Also a partner to the business community, Town Bank is celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. We have grown over the years from 3 offices in 1999 to 51 offices today throughout Virginia and North Carolina. Here in Suffolk, we have 3 locations to serve you: the Harborview Financial Center, our Lakeside office on West Washington Street, and our Hill Point location on Godwin Boulevard. As your financial services partner, we maintain the #1 deposit market share among banks in Suffolk. We are grateful for your support. We are committed to serving others and enriching lives by supporting hundreds of local charitable organizations through donations, scholarships, and grants. Since our founding, Town has contributed more than $114 million to the communities we serve. Here in Suffolk, we are honored to support Encore in their new Harborview Medical Center. The 3-story, 98,000 square foot hospital will provide health care for the residents of Northern Suffolk and Western Hampton Roads. Slated for completion in spring of next year, the Harborview Medical Center will serve the area with advanced health care close to home, as well as access to emergency care in the 15-bed emergency department. We also partner with businesses like Producers Peanut Company, who is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. A family-owned business, Producers Peanut Company started out selling candy and switched to peanut butter in the late 1920s. The company sells natural peanut butter like its Peanut Kids brand and supplies peanut butter and peanuts to customers in 26 countries around the world. Now it is my honor to introduce Mayor Mike Dooman, who will tell you more about the great city of Suffolk. Mayor Dooman was elected mayor in November of 2020 after serving as the representative for the Chucktuck Borough on City Council for 10 years. Mayor Dooman graduated from Old Dominion University and served as a commissioned officer in the United States Army Reserve. Mayor Dooman began his business career while attending college. He established his first auto dealership in 1980 and became the youngest Ford Mercury dealer in the country. He currently operates Mike Dooman Auto Sales here in Suffolk. He was selected as the Virginia State Independent Quality Dealer of the Year in 2000. And Mayor Dooman was recognized by Virginia House Joint Resolution number 332 for his business acumen and contributions to the community. Mayor Dooman currently serves on the Western Tidewater Regional Jail Board, in the Hampton Roads Planning Organization, as well as the Transportation Accountability Commission. He is active in the community, donating time and resources to many worthwhile causes and serving on various boards. Now please join me in welcoming Mayor Mike Dooman.
Okay, thank you, Thomas, for that superb introduction. It is a pleasure to see you again at this year's State of the City Address. Thank you, Town Bank, for your continued support of these events and your unwavering commitment to our city and the region. Your corporate philosophy continues to promote strong relationships and excellent service in your daily operations. Over 200 nonprofit organizations have benefited from your dedicated culture of caring and giving. Suffolk is indeed fortunate to have your corporate headquarters and your new branches located in our great city. This year, Suffolk and Town Bank are celebrating great milestones. For Town Bank, it's 25 years in business. For the city, we celebrate 50 years since the merger of Nansemond County to create the city of Suffolk that we know today. That was also about the same time that I met Bob Astor, founder and executive chairman of Town Bank, back in August of 1974. At the time, I was a 23-year-old sales manager at a Portsmouth Nissan dealer, and he was an up-and-coming bank executive with Citizens Trust Bank. At least one of us amounted to something. Congratulations, Bob. By the way, they weren't called a Nissan back then. Raise your hand if you know what they were called in 1974. That's right. And for all of you that raised your hands, you just gave away your age. Sonny, where are you, buddy? Losing the old teleprompter here. Makes it a little tough. Sonny, where are you? Okay, we're going paper, folks. We have a glitch here. We're getting the real script. I want to take a moment to thank the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce for continuing to organize the State of the City series. Suffolk is the last in the series, and this year we get to wrap it up with a celebration. The Chamber continues to be a staunch advocate of our business community. They have been instrumental in shaping public policy and influencing legislation that sets the conditions for businesses to grow and prosper. The Chamber has been instrumental in solidifying a strong regional presence. Thank you, Brian, for your exemplary leadership. Before I continue, I'd like to acknowledge the most important person in the room, my wife, Fran. Thanks for always being there for me. And an invaluable sounding board. I would not be here today without that support. Please stand to be recognized. We have many other important guests in attendance today. At this time, I would like to recognize our dedicated city council members. Please stand as I call your name. Vice Mayor Lou Ward, Councilmember Shelley Butler Barlow, Councilmember Leroy Bennett, Councilmember Roger Fawcett, Councilmember Tim Johnson, Councilmember John Rector, and last but certainly not least, Councilmember Leotis Williams. Together, these outstanding individuals share a total of 82 years of public service. Together, they work tirelessly to provide unparalleled representation for their constituents. Collectively, as a council, we work cooperatively with only one goal in mind, and that is to serve our citizens. It is a privilege to work with them and beside them as we do the people's work. We're also honored to have our constitutional officers with us today. These consummate professionals work collaboratively with city staff and city council. They are instrumental to the effective operation of our city and contribute significantly to its overall success. We appreciate your presence today and would like you to stand to be recognized. Clerk of Court, Randy Carter. Commissioner of the Revenue, Susan Draper. Sheriff, E.C. Harris. Commonwealth Attorney, Dorinda Pletz. And Treasurer, Ron Williams. anniversary celebration is going to focus a great deal on the growth our city has experienced during that time. Two groups have been essential entities of attracting and managing that growth. One is the Economic Development Authority, which promotes and attracts business development. The other is our Planning Commission, which makes recommendations to City Council about managing that growth. Will the members of these two bodies please stand and be recognized? Thank you for the invaluable service you provide. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the man at the helm, City Manager Al Moore. Al is responsible for managing the day-to-day activities of the city under the policy guidance of City Council. He is directly responsible for more than 1,500 employees that strive to deliver exceptional service to our citizens every day. Please join me in a round of applause for Al, his management team, and all our employees for a job well done. Your professionalism and dedication is appreciated. Our city could not have reached the pinnacle of success we enjoy today without your efforts. I would like to recognize the latest addition to our management team. Mr. Charles Meek was recently appointed as Director of Finance. Charles has spent more than 17 years serving our city. His experience and financial acumen will serve us well into the future. You know, when Suffolk was born 50 years ago, the year 2024 seems so far off into the future. It's amazing how far we've come. So let's start by taking a trip back in time to the ancient year of 1974. There's a few interesting facts about that year. A shift in culture was underway. Beatlemania was giving way to disco and flower power. The year's best movies included Godfather 2, Chinatown, and if you remember, Mel Brooks' 1-2 punch, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein. That was the year a young novelist named Stephen King published his debut novel, Carrie. And in sports, Henry Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record. And the Rumble in the Jungle was a famous boxing match between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. The #1 toy was Lego. By the way, it's interesting to note that 50 years later, Lego is building a major plant here in Virginia. Inventions in 1974 included the Post-it note, UPC barcode, and the Rubik's Cube. And you know, I've just got to do it somewhere. The best-selling car in America was the Ford Pinto. And who can forget, who can possibly forget the TV shows?
It's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
It's time to start taking contestants right out of the studio audience. Here we go. Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Price is Right State of the City Suffolk 74 edition. And now let's boogie on down the road in Suffolk, 1974. A typical summer day. The kids are out of school and Mom and Dad have a rare day off. Dad works at Planters Peanuts. Mom at Montgomery Ward, located in the Suffolk Plaza. It's time to split from the family pad in easygoing Chuckatuck. Let's zoom past the farm fields and dig a groovy day in Suffolk. Everyone piles in the family's brand new Ford Country Squire station wagon. They scored this sweet drive from Albert Ford in Suffolk. Say, how many clams did that set you back, Mom and Dad?
Okay, folks, let's have a little bit of fun before we get serious. The Price is Right. Who thinks it was $5,095? Yeah. Who thinks that brand new Country Squire station wagon was $99.95? And the rest of y'all are asleep. The actual retail price was $5,095.
The family's first stop, juice up the wagon at Red Top gas station. Yikes, times are tough. There's a gas shortage going on. Oh boy, how much is that gallon of gas?
All right, what's the retail price on a gallon of gas, 1974? Was it 53 cents a gallon? Yeah. I can't hear you. Was it 78 cents a gallon? All right, looks like we have more 78. The actual retail price of a gallon of gas in 74 was...
It's a happening day with the kiddos. Better snag a cup of Joe to go. What's the tab for that brew?
A cup of coffee in 1974. This one's pretty close. Was it 73 cents? Nobody? No. Must be 67. And the actual retail price of a price of coffee in 1974 was...
Tune down those little ones, Mom and Dad. Crank up WLPM on the radio dial. Do you remember that frequency? Right on. It was AM 1450 in Suffolk. Now that the family's cruising downtown, they make a stop at Russell & Holmes shoe store. Mom needs a new pair of shoes for church. How much are those new kicks gonna cost?
Alrighty, how much is a pair of shoes? Mom, were they $12.97? $29.50. Everybody's keeping track. Whoever got the most right is going to be able to enter their name for a prize at the end. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but the actual retail price was.
Seems Mom was really digging her time at the shoe store. Now it's time to grab a bite to eat. So the family boogies across the street to Woolworth's. Grab a burger and fries at the lunch counter. How much is that fast food?
Okay, a burger and fries at the lunch counter at Woolworth's. And if you lived in Suffolk back then, you knew exactly where it was on Main Street. Was it $1? 55 cents? Looks like $1.50, but the actual retail price was? I think everybody else was thinking of the combo.
Before leaving Woolworth's, Dad picks up a roll of Polaroid film on sale for his new instant camera. That's a groovy deal. 8 pictures for $3.77. He's looking forward to his far-out day this weekend at the Suffolk Raceway. Now to keep the kiddos happy, they're itching to see the new Disney flick, Robin Hood. So the family catches a matinee at the Suffolk Plaza Cinema. How much is that movie ticket and popcorn?
Well, who thinks it was $4.25? No losers. The actual retail price was.
After the movie, it's supper time. Mom and Dad haul the kids down the road to Buddy's Family Restaurant. A nice dinner out together is a great way to end their day in Suffolk. The day is winding down and it's time to boogie back home. Mom and Dad tuck the kids in and then crash themselves while watching Johnny Carson on their new 25-inch color TV. Of course, they got it on sale at J.P. Booth's in Suffolk. Can you jig that price back?
All right, we got a brand new 25-inch color TV in 1974. Was it $279.94 or $599.74? Who thinks it's $279.94? Yeah. Who thinks it's $599.74? It looks like the 279s have it temporarily. The actual retail price was and we knew we'd get you on that one. It's one thing, the prices actually fell way down when it's a color TV. I think digital watches were about the same thing. Remember when this thing first came out? The little digital watch was about $300. So anyhow, hopefully you had fun playing. If you ever watched The Price is Right, you know that Bob Barker ends every one of his shows by saying, and I quote, "Help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered." Back then, TV was so much more than just entertainment. Before the internet and social media, television news played a crucial role in helping keep the public informed. In 1974, our country was still dealing with the aftermath of the Vietnam conflict. The oil crisis plunged the world into a recession. And the Watergate scandal led to President Richard Nixon to resign, and Gerald Ford became our 38th president. All this was 50 years ago as the city of Suffolk and Nesbitt County were preparing to merge after years of discussions, studies, and lawsuits. The merger created the modern city of Suffolk. It was a significant event in the history of Virginia. Before the merger, Suffolk existed as an independent city alongside the surrounding Nesbitt County. The merger brought together the city and the county, creating a 430 square mile city with consolidated governance and services under a single municipal entity. A study concluded that a merger between the two localities would avoid needless duplication of departments, ensure efficient and orderly planning, and provide a broader tax base. It would also bring a larger market for services such as sewage collection and treatment and refuse collection. The Suffolk News Herald did a great job of telling the entire story of the merger back in 1974. Today, the Suffolk News Herald is still around, of course, and we work together to reprint the publication true to content and size to help us celebrate this milestone. So today, on your place setting, you will find a recreation of the actual newspaper that was published as Suffolk was being born. I want to thank publisher Lindsay Richardson and editor Ed Pugh for working with us to recreate this really special piece of history. What a meaningful keepsake for our guest today. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge two individuals who were part of this process in 1974. And I'm not sure they knew they were going to get recognized, so they're here with us today. One of them is Mr. Jim McAllis, who was the planning director for Suffolk at that time and eventually became the city manager in 2004. Jim retired in 2007 after 34 years of service. Mr. Bobby Ralph was the director of social services at the time of the merger and retired in 2002. Bobby's service to our city was not over then, as he was elected and served on city council from 2002 to 2006, with the last 2 years as mayor. I want to thank these two fine gentlemen for being instrumental in creating the foundation for our city that we are forever grateful. Jim and Bobby, please stand and be recognized. Bobby's pictured on page 7 of your newspaper, and Jim is pictured on page 10 of your News Herald reprint. Jim, you're a dear friend, and I want to let you know I'm really digging the sideburns, long hair, and mustache. But just like Jim, things looked a lot different back then. Back then, about 45,000 people lived in Suffolk. Today, over 100,000 people call Suffolk home. That's a 136% increase. In fact, last year, we experienced the most significant percentage increase of any city in Hampton Roads, and the 6th highest in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Our roadways back then also looked quite different. Just imagine no Interstate 664 or Route 58 bypass. Today, these roadways are bustling arteries that connect Suffolk and are gateways to the rest of the region and the state. On Main Street from Elephant's Fork to Constance Road, there was the original Oversea Memorial Hospital, Suffolk Shopping Center, and other stores, but there was a large tract of land where Lowe's and the Walmart stand today. The Hilton Garden Inside, where we are seated today, was the sewage treatment facility. There was a courthouse and jail where the visitor center and pavilion are now located. Talk about upgrades. The Center for Cultural Arts was still Suffolk High School. Harborview didn't exist, and Route 17 from Churchland to the James River Bridge was sparse with Bennett's Creek Market, George's D Steakhouse, and Bennett's Creek Marina being the only notable landmarks, along with the famous Purple Lady, Miss Pressure. Miss Pressure lived on Route 17 and was known for her purple-painted pallet fence and utility poles on her property, which stood near where the Centero Bell Harbor Hospital stands today. Without a doubt, Interstate 664 and Harborview have been one of the most notable developments in our city. It is transformed from mostly farmland into an expansive mixed-use development and a walkable family community with unparalleled amenities. One thing that has not changed very much in the last 50 years is the outdoor beauty at Lone Star Lakes Park. And I believe the Nansemond Indian Nation can attest to that. They received official federal recognition in 2018, and since then have been evolving and advancing their vision of Montauk Town, a 71-acre tract of land on the Nansemond River, the one guided by preservation, public education, and environmental stewardship. This vision is shared by myself and the Suffolk City Council, so much so that the Suffolk City Council took action on May 15, 2024 to approve a memorandum of understanding that establishes a working relationship between the City of Suffolk and the Nansemond Indian Nation for Montauk Town. This MOU established ongoing support for the annual powwow, allows access for visitors and residents between Lone Star Lakes Park and Montauk Town, and establishes a City and Nation Committee to continue to work through issues together. 50 years ago, there were just 2 small military installations in our city, the National Guard Armory in Route 10 and my former Army Reserve Center on Shoulders Hill Road, which was acquired by the city and transformed into the Bennett's Creek Rec Center. Today, the military and associated civilian workforce is interwoven into the fabric of our city. We are indeed beyond fortunate that more than 3,000 military and civilian personnel work in Suffolk, in Naval Information Forces, Navy Cyber Command, Joint Force Development, J7, and U.S. Fleet Cyber Command South. We can be immensely proud that these cyber warriors perform dynamic work to protect our country right here in Suffolk. Our city is delighted that thousands of our military heroes and their families have chosen Suffolk to call home. If you have served in the military, past or present, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. Our school system has also undergone significant changes over the years. Suffolk High School closed in 1990. And high schools such as John F. Kennedy, Forest Glen, and John Yates are now serving as middle schools. The city is now served by 3 much larger high schools, Nansemond River, Lakeland, and Kings Fork. Recent trends in school construction reflect the increasing role the schools play in the lives of their students. This is evidenced by the recent groundbreaking of JFK Middle School, a $75 million project spanning 94,500 square feet. This undertaking acknowledges the pivotal role JFK played in our community and underscores the importance of preserving its legacy of providing education and opportunity to all students. Education is about so much more than bricks and mortar. Most of all, it's about the people, the students we serve, and the faculty and staff who selflessly lead the way. I want to acknowledge the members of the Suffolk School Board and school personnel who are here today. Please stand to be recognized. Superintendent Dr. John Gordon III is not here today. He sends his regrets. He's currently in Richmond at the State Education Committee meeting, advocating for STEM programming in our schools. Thank you for all your leadership and dedication to the educating of our youth. Over the past 50 years, the City of Suffolk has focused on creating and maintaining a superior quality of life for all our students. Simply put, quality of life is defined as the degree to which a person is healthy, comfortable, and able to enjoy the activities of daily living. Let's take a look at what's happening in Suffolk to make that a reality.
Over the past 50 years, Suffolk has dedicated itself to building a high quality of life, tailored to the desires and needs of our residents. We've changed a lot since 1974, while preserving what makes us unique in Hampton Roads. In 1974, Suffolk designated the Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge. It's our greatest natural amenity, and we took this step to preserve our unique ecosystem, protect wildlife, and honor our historical significance. The Great Dismal Swamp stretches 113,000 acres of protected land in 2 states, and more than 1/3 of that land is in Suffolk. The refuge serves as a vital sanctuary for many plant and animal species, providing residents and visitors with tremendous opportunities for research, education, and outdoor recreation. Across town, the Suffolk Seaboard Coastline Trail continues to grow and connect residents with the outdoors. Stretching along the former railroad corridor, the trail runs 10 miles, providing a scenic route for walking, jogging, and biking, and even an outdoor fitness center in Pewsville. We're excited to receive a $2 million grant that will help us connect to the much larger 41-mile trail that runs throughout Southampton Roads, across the ferry to the peninsula, and on to Richmond and beyond. The land is great here, and the water makes it better. The city recently acquired the former Brady's Marina property off Godwin Boulevard. Soon, you'll see a new public park with a boat ramp, and that means easy access to the Nansemond River right in the central part of our city. The fun in the sun continues with the $1.6 million renovation at the Cypress Park Pool, which includes expanded locker rooms, a zero-depth entry, and a fun water feature. This project introduces water and swimming to some of our youngest citizens and families, and that's lasting summer fun for everyone. Suffolk's signature community events created so many memories this past year, bringing a record number of citizens together to celebrate. The Taste of Suffolk showcases the city's diverse food scene and local flavors, from savory barbecue to sweet treats. Visitors can indulge in a gastronomic adventure while enjoying live music and entertainment. Then the holiday parade fills the streets with joyous cheers as colorful floats, marching bands, and festive performers usher in the spirit of the season. Downtown Suffolk transforms into a winter wonderland, adorned in twinkling lights and seasonal decorations, spreading warmth and merriment to all who gather to celebrate the magic of the holidays. We have celebrations like this because those who came before us invested in our infrastructure. And soon we'll wrap up the largest infrastructure project in the history of this city. Once finished, Holland Road will be a 6-lane divided roadway with better drainage, upgraded signals, and lanes for bikes and pedestrians. The city has kicked off construction of the Shoulders Hill Road Bridge Road expansion. This will widen Bridge Road to 6 lanes and Shoulders Hill Road to 4 lanes, providing much needed relief to congestion in this growing part of the city. The Nansemond-Wilroy Overpass project is well underway. The flyover design will provide a smart solution at a very busy railroad crossing. It's on track to be completed by fall of next year. In the meantime, check out the progress yourself with a live, real-time online camera that makes it easy to see how it's going. You know, as big as these projects are, there are real faces behind them, working tirelessly to get these jobs completed on schedule. Hard-working members of Suffolk's Public Works team, like Richard Brown. Richard retired from the sign shop after 48 years serving the people of Suffolk. Richard started when our city was just a 2-year-old toddler still in diapers. He's been part of the Suffolk family from the beginning, and we're so proud of him that we named the sign shop in his honor. Congratulations on your retirement, Richard. People like Richard do so much to promote the quality of life here in Suffolk, just like everyone in our public schools. Suffolk broke ground on the new $75 million John F. Kennedy Middle School. This will enable our schools to maintain their 95% accreditation rating, the 5th highest growth rate in the state. Suffolk's commitment to students is deep, and that's just one reason our students earned a record of nearly $34 million in scholarships this year. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2024. We know you will accomplish great things. Our community is working hard to make sure everyone can share in opportunities like these. The Library to Go is partnering with No Kid Hungry and the Food Bank to distribute food bundles and after-school snacks, as well as to teach people about healthy eating and healthy living. The city is fortunate to have so many strong community partners to help people in need, including the Geneve Shelter, CAPS, 4Kids, the Salvation Army, and the Western Tidewater Free Clinic, where an expanded dental clinic is reaching people across Western Tidewater. The Suffolk Workforce Development Center is another beacon in the community, helping residents in need. It serves as a crucial hub for empowering individuals to enhance their skills, find meaningful employment, and advance their careers. Through job training, career counseling, access to employment resources, and more, this center connects employers with job seekers to help our communities grow and prosper. The center reached record numbers this past year, helping more than 9,000 clients, and it's on track to help even more people this year. The city is taking the challenge of homelessness head-on, transforming the former Regal Inn Motel into Suffolk's first individual homeless shelter. This facility will provide temporary housing and valuable support to help people in need gain stability and rebuild their lives. Across the country, it's growing harder to afford a place to live. Here in Suffolk, City Council dedicated $500,000 in federal funds for the 76 apartments in Saratoga Place at Peanut Crossing and $300,000 for the 120 apartments in the new Oak Terrace community. Together, we're making almost 200 apartments affordable to people working and living in Suffolk, like teachers, police officers, and city workers. And that's something that makes Suffolk special. It's a great place to live, and we're working hard to make sure that more and more people can share in this quality of life.
The measure of our success as a municipality is about much more than economic growth or infrastructure development. It's about the peace of mind our residents experience every day, in the tranquility of neighborhoods, the confidence we have when our children walk to school, and the comfort of knowing one can safely move about our city with a true sense of security. Establishing that sense of security requires maintaining a dependable and vigilant police department that is equipped to respond swiftly to emergencies and is dedicated to earning the community's trust and engagement. Our police force is not merely an enforcement entity. Our officers are the guardians of our collective well-being, working tirelessly to ensure that every citizen feels safe and protected in their homes and on our streets. The result is that crime is down in Suffolk. In fact, Part 1 crime rates, that's the most egregious ones, were down 8% from last year. If current trends continue, we anticipate a significant continued reduction. This is actually more good news because crime was already down from last year. This trend can be attributed to the dedicated effort of our men and women in the police department and their continuing partnership with our community. Public safety is top of mind in Suffolk, so much so that we have allocated 30% of all local tax dollars this fiscal year to ensure our safety personnel have the resources and manpower to accomplish their mission. Confirming that commitment, the city created 44 new positions across the city, of which 24 were public safety positions, more than half. This included 8 fire and rescue personnel, 7 police officers, 6 police emergency telecommunicators, and 2 animal shelter employees. Our law enforcement professionals work in partnership with Commonwealth's attorney, Dorinda Plez, and her team. Law enforcement can only be effective if there is a concerted effort to hold offenders accountable for their actions. The Commonwealth Attorney's Office is dedicated to maintaining public safety in Suffolk and fervently support the belief that everyone has a right to peacefully enjoy Suffolk without fear of victimization or criminality. In prosecuting matters that consider the victim, our community, and the lasting impact our actions may play in defining the status of our great city. They hold offenders accountable in lots of ways, and whenever possible, they work to prepare people to return to society after serving their sentences. At this time, I would like to acknowledge Commonwealth Attorney Mr. Andrew Plez and any staff that are present today. Please stand and be recognized. I am especially pleased to announce the establishment of the new Public Safety Committee. The committee is comprised of representatives from the Suffolk Police Department, Fire and Rescue, Sheriff's Office, Commonwealth Attorney's Office, City Attorney's Office, Western Tidewater Regional Jail, and Suffolk Public Schools. All these agencies play a critical role in Suffolk's public safety system. It is their willingness to work collaboratively, sharing their ideas and resources that enable our city to effectively address crime and safety concerns. This committee aims to strengthen relationships between city agencies, enhance community engagement, and develop strategies to bolster safety across the city's neighborhoods. Additionally, it serves as an official channel for communication between city government and our residents. Together, the committee has launched the Public Safety Portal, providing an avenue for community members to share their ideas or opportunities to improve safety in their neighborhoods. Who better understands their communities than the residents themselves? We're enthusiastic about offering this resource to our citizens so that we can actively listen to their suggestions. This is just one of the many ways we're strengthening the relationship between our public safety officials and the community that we serve. Let's take a look to see what else we've been working on.
Every day, our first responders dedicate themselves to serving our community with unwavering courage and commitment. They stand ready to answer the call of duty day or night, often placing the needs of others above their own safety and comfort. It's about saving lives, rushing into burning buildings, administering medical care on the scene of an accident, or patrolling our streets. These brave men and women exemplify the true meaning of service. Their work often starts with one of the 130,000 calls made every year to our Emergency Communications Center, some 300 fire calls, and more than 14,000 EMS incidents. Our teams work around the clock to respond and help people in need. The needs are growing. That's why the city recently broke ground on Fire Station 11 on Hampton Roads Parkway in Harborview. It's a 4-bay, 20,000 square foot facility that will house 45 firefighters, officers, and paramedics. The funding for these new positions came from a $4.1 million federal grant from the Department of Homeland Security that will cover salaries and benefits of these first responders for 3 years. The city is working to implement the Marcus Alert System this summer. This program means mental health professionals will accompany law enforcement officers when they respond to mental health calls. The aim to de-escalate, to provide care, and to minimize the potential for violence or harm. Suffolk and the Western Tidewater Community Service Board are working to implement this program to help people experiencing crisis, not to punish them. The Suffolk Fire and Rescue Team earned accreditation from the Commission on Fire Accreditation International, the world's leading assessor of professionalism. Only 300 agencies in the world have earned this designation. The accreditation signifies that a fire department meets industry-recognized benchmarks for professionalism, effectiveness, and efficiency in fire protection and emergency response. This accreditation is more than a badge of honor. It's a testament to the department's commitment to continuous improvement and public safety. In a similar way, our Sheriff's Office is now accredited with the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission. This demonstrates that the department is in full compliance with all state law enforcement policies and practices. This is an important tool to build trust and understanding within the community. The Suffolk Police Department maintains accreditation from the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. This signifies that the department adheres to the highest standards in the field of policing. It serves as a symbol of trust and legitimacy, demonstrating to the community and stakeholders that the department operates with transparency and integrity. To maintain this positive momentum, the Suffolk Police Department continually needs new officers. So last fall, the department hosted its inaugural job fair, and the response was impressive, with 40 potential applicants screened on the spot in one day, much faster than the 3-month typical process. For existing officers, Suffolk City Council just approved a bonus of up to $3,000 based on length of service. It's our way to show appreciation for their commitment, service, and loyalty to Suffolk. But recruitment efforts aren't limited to just officers. Meet ACE, Atlas, and Knox, the newest members of the city's K-9 teams. When we recruit new officers, they quickly learn how we partner with outside agencies, such as the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Last spring, Suffolk teamed up with the ATF and the U.S. Marshal Service to focus on illegal firearms and drug sales, resulting in more than 140 undercover purchases of cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, and firearms. It was one of the largest indictment sweeps in the city's history. 16 firearms recovered, 180 indictments served, and 24 individuals were arrested. Partnerships like these keep our city safe and strengthen relationships with our citizens. And there's no better example of a community coming together than our National Night Out. On the first Tuesday in August, our public safety officials team up with civic leagues, homeowners associations, churches, and community groups to host a going-away party for crime. This year was our largest turnout yet, with 15,000 residents participating in 27 locations across the city. We're proud to share that Suffolk was awarded second place in the nation among cities our size, continuing our top 5 winning streak that's lasted a decade. This model of community engagement has served Suffolk well within its 430 square miles. So well, in fact, that it adopted the strategy for this year's Great Suffolk Cleanup. More than 1,400 individuals from 26 organizations picked up 1,600 bags of trash and 220 tires. This is a true example of the power of teaming up to accomplish a common goal, to keep Suffolk safe and clean.
Public safety personnel have chosen to celebrate our 50th anniversary in their own special way. The police department is recognizing this milestone by having all sworn officers wear these special badges for the entire year of 2024. The badges also are being offered to any retired officer with 20 or more years of service. Fire and Rescue has had special challenge coins minted and issued to personnel to memorialize this occasion. At this time, I would like to acknowledge Interim Chief James Danny Bowie and Fire Chief Mike Paraki. Thank you for your outstanding leadership of our first responders. You have both earned the respect of those you command, as well as the respect of our citizens. We are grateful for your exemplary leadership. I would like to ask our first responders, past and present, who are here today, to stand and be recognized. you for being the security blanket that allows us to sleep at night. When a community is safe, it sets the foundation for prosperity. Financial stability and a strong financial position are paramount to providing opportunities for future growth. The City of Suffolk has been committed to being fiscally conservative by strictly adhering to sound financial policies. Those policies continue to not only be adhered to, but also improved upon. Our unassigned fund balance, that is a reserve, as a percentage of government funds remains fully funded at a substantial 20%. Our capital pay-go policy is a 3% minimum of general fund expenses. It is an impressive 11.5% this year. Debt as a percentage of assessed value guidelines is a 4% maximum. It is projected at only 1.4%. Lastly, debt as a percentage of general government expense is well within compliance at 10%, with it projected to be only 6.2%. The good news continues to flow. We've seen just over $400 million of new construction this year. That equates to just under $4.3 million in tax revenue generated. I just received the third quarter revenue projections. As compared to budget forecast, personal property is up 14%, sales and use tax up 11%, business license tax is up 9%, lodging tax up 15%, and meals tax has bounced up 13%. Economic growth, along with financial strength, allows our city to be able to provide the revenue for infrastructure development, education, public services, and recreation. It is quite evident businesses want to invest in our city. Once again, our city can boast a AAA bond rating from Standard & Poor's, Fitch, and Moody's. Only a handful of localities around the Commonwealth can boast this triple. And if it's even more exciting to listen to some of the comments that the rating agencies had to say about Suffolk. Fitch noted, the city's superior level of inherent budget flexibility and healthy fiscal reserve levels support a high level of financial resilience. Moody's said the city's financial position is sound, translating to long-term stability of both reserves and liquidity, supported by management's consistently conservative budgeting practices and adherence to formal policies. And S&P stated that stable outlook reflects the opinion that Suffolk will maintain at least balanced financial performance, contributing to very strong reserve levels. These ratings affirm that our city's financial stability is secure and our future outlook is promising, a trajectory that we anticipate will endure well into the future. We are able to use this strength to invest for the future. This past year, we issued $30 billion in general obligation bonds and another $4.7 million in stormwater revenue bonds to upgrade infrastructure across the city. You'll soon be seeing these investments popping up all over town. Another initiative that the City Council takes particular pride in is implementing a 2-cent reduction in real estate taxes this year. Last year, a 2-cent tax relief credit was applied, and the year before that, the tax rate was also reduced by 2 cents. These reductions now equate to a rate of $107 per $100, and Suffolk continues to reduce the third lowest tax rate in the region, providing residents with an additional tax reduction totaling $3.5 million. Suffolk's strong financial rating serves as a beacon for businesses seeking an optimal location to invest and grow in Suffolk. Our stable fiscal environment signals reliability and predictability, instilling confidence in entrepreneurs and corporations alike. With healthy reserves, well-managed budgets, and low tax rates, we can offer incentives and support mechanisms that help businesses expand and innovate. Our strong financial foundation enables us to invest in infrastructure, amenities, and workforce development initiatives that enhance the overall business environment. This led to more than $348 million in capital investment last year and resulted in the creation of 795 new jobs. Economic development opportunities are thriving in Suffolk for both small and large businesses. Let's take a look.
A quick drive through almost any part of the city shows that Suffolk is investing, and so are businesses, both big and small. Suffolk has welcomed a variety of national brands and budding entrepreneurs, and our business expansion continues. An especially important investment in our future is the Workforce Trades and Innovation Center on Carolina Road, the result of a generous donation from Coastal Virginia developers to the Camp Community College Foundation and Paul D. Camp Community College. This 13,000 square foot building will expand skilled trades in our region by providing training for in-demand jobs and offering industry-approved credentials. Manufacturing is thriving in Suffolk, as demonstrated by Birdsong Peanuts' investment in Suffolk's most iconic commodity, the peanut. This $25 million renovation to modernize production is now complete, making it one of the most modern facilities in the Birdsong network. Solidifying Suffolk's claim as the caffeine capital of the world, Massimo Zanetti Beverage USA's $29 million investment to expand its roasting operations will soon be complete, creating 79 new jobs in the process. Solenis, a leading global producer of specialty chemicals for water-intensive industries, has announced its $193 million expansion project. This 800,000 square foot facility will include a tank farm and new rail spur to accommodate the growing demand for their polymer products used in paper and cardboard manufacturing. Nanceman Precast is now under construction on a new 38,000 square foot concrete pipe manufacturing facility. Owned and operated by the McConnell family, and in Suffolk since 1970, Nanceman Precast is the premier concrete precast fabricator on the East Coast, supporting road, water, and sewer infrastructure projects all over Hampton Roads and beyond. Earlier this year, Dutch manufacturer ESCA chose Suffolk and the Coastal Logistics Center to expand their U.S. operations. Currently under construction and becoming operational later this year, ESCA is investing over $1.5 million in equipment and will employ 39 people in its new 200,000 square foot facility. The Suffolk site will manufacture cardboard containers and components for the retail and game industry, producing for companies like Dom Perignon, Giorgio Armani, and Parker Brothers. And Suffolk welcomes the arrival of Canadian manufacturer Automatic Coating. They were looking for a U.S. headquarters for their innovative corrosion coating technologies that serve the U.S. Navy, and their investment of $23 million and 50 new jobs confirms that Suffolk is the international location of choice in which to do business. Manufacturing is back in the United States, and it's thriving all over Suffolk. The Port of Virginia has staked its claim as the most modern and efficient port in America, and Suffolk is key to maximizing this critical economic asset. Today, more than 7,000 people are employed in logistics centers throughout the city, and new projects like Port 460 will allow the Port of Virginia to continue to grow. Recently, Suffolk announced our newest business, Freeze Pack Logistics, a leading provider of full-service cold and dry storage services. Their 245,000 square foot cold storage facility is a $77 million investment in Northgate Commerce Park that will serve the Mid-Atlantic region and create 80 new jobs. A growing population needs to stay healthy, and that's why healthcare is one of the largest sectors of the U.S. economy, and it's thriving in Suffolk too. The ongoing expansion of Bon Secours Harborview Hospital will include 18 medical and surgical beds and up to 4 operating rooms. This new 98,000 square foot hospital represents an $80 million investment that will support the existing Bon Secours Health Center. All these assets make Suffolk a great place to live and to visit. Suffolk's hospitality industry is also expanding. In the northern end of the city, the new apartment-style hotel Stay APT at Blue Point will provide 500 square feet of living space for visitors to stretch and relax. Harbor View, home to Suites by Hilton, will provide 96 spacious suites at Blue Point. And downtown, the Pinner House, a charming bed and breakfast, offers adorable cottage rentals just steps away from Cafe Divina, the coffee and crepe shop. It's no wonder this historic inn was awarded the Suffolk Small Business of the Year designation by the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. Even our host venue, the Hilton Garden Inn Riverfront, is investing in a new 6-month renovation to modernize the rooms and facilities, including a new wine bar and restaurant, Crust and Cork, which is expected to open later this year. Love barbecue? Check out Redwood Smoke Shack's new location in the former Bennett's Creek Farmers Market building. The smokehouse will serve up seasoned cuts of meat, slowly cooked over indirect heat from real wood-fired barbecue pits. Even Betsy the cow is excited to be a part of this new chapter. Check out her orange paint job. Revitalizing the old with a new vibe doesn't stop there. Across the street, Bridgeport, North Suffolk continues to grow, but not without paying homage to the signature landmark, the silos. These 3 silos serve as the logo and defining symbol of BECO's dynamic new development. Now those silos will house a unique dining experience, including a new taco restaurant alongside Westside Burgers. Suffolk's energy is especially exciting in downtown's renaissance. Renovations are moving along to restore the Elliott Hotel to its original grandeur as it transforms into 45 luxury loft apartments. The Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts' $4.5 million restoration is nearing completion. Its vibrant new exterior paint job showcases the transformation and modernizes this century-old schoolhouse while preserving the brick for years to come. Suffolk's new home for outdoor summertime celebration is Downtown Festival Park. When the ribbon is cut next month, this venue will serve as a musical and event hub to be enjoyed by all. Right down the street, the new Suffolk Central Library just broke ground in April. This beacon of community revitalization will blend seamlessly with the urban landscape along bustling West Washington Street. Its design reflects extensive community input, offering tailored spaces for young people and abundant outdoor connections. Spanning 2 stories, this architectural gem will enrich minds and transform its surroundings with thoughtful integration into the city's fabric. With these new additions to the cityscape, now is a great time to unveil the new downtown wayfinding signs. The iconic peanut is cleverly replacing the O in Suffolk. These signs will let visitors know exactly where they are, downtown. Over the coming months, the signage campaign will expand to include trailblazer marquees, parking signs, and information kiosks. To continue building this renaissance, Suffolk has created a new Downtown Advisory Committee, a diverse group working together to help downtown realize its full potential while maintaining its historic character. It's a great example of residents working together and another reason why Suffolk stands poised for even greater success in the years to come.
I think it's clear that our city is primed for ongoing progress by any measure. People often ask me about how we manage the problems associated with growth. In my opinion, growth encompasses not just population increase, but also development, progress, expansion, and investment. None of these should be seen as problems. A real problem would arise if our city lacked appeal for residents or investors. Thankfully, that's far, far from the case. We are in a very enviable position. My point is that growth itself isn't a problem. Rather, it's a challenge. The challenge lies in achieving balanced growth, which generates revenue for better public facilities, all while preserving our city's unique character and safeguarding our residents' quality of life. 50 years ago, at the time of the merger, this was also a primary concern. The foundation was laid for what the city of Suffolk is today. During the first year of the merger, the city hired consultants to prepare a land use plan. The plan established urban development areas that encouraged growth in particular areas. Generally, development outside these areas was discouraged. 2 years later, the city adopted the General Land Use and Thoroughfare Plan, which proposed that certain areas of the city be designated agricultural, residential, commercial, and industrial. All these initiatives were the predecessor to and set the foundation for our current Unified Development Ordinance and comprehensive plan that guide us today. Since 1974, Suffolk has evolved into a city that offers unlimited opportunity for our citizens, visitors, and businesses. This doesn't happen by accident. It takes years of continual planning, budgeting, and sometimes making very difficult decisions. Our 50th anniversary also aligns with the development of the 2045 Comprehensive Plan. This plan is the city's primary planning document that establishes policy for the growth of Suffolk from 2024 all the way to 2045. The plan describes the city's strategy to preserve what we have, develop and recapitalize resources for today's and future residents, and grow to meet future market and revenue requirements. Our comprehensive planning process has been exhaustive and inclusive. There have been numerous meetings that offered the public an opportunity to provide valuable input. This robust, deliberate approach to engaging community members garnered over 7,500 unique comments and resulted in over 3,600 interactions at in-person events. The comprehensive planning process is long and arduous, but it's worth it. We are committed to establishing performance indicators that will serve as benchmarks for the accountability of city leadership to residents for its implementation. We are using the comp plan to help guide us to build Suffolk into not only a city, but a destination, a place with vast offerings of amenities for our citizens and visitors to enjoy. Speaking of visitors, the Suffolk Division of Tourism is the destination marketing organization for our city. Not only does this department handle targeted marketing to businesses and leisure travelers, they also operate a state-certified visitor center, Seaboard Station Railroad Museum, farmers market, and a robust tour program. Add in specialty events such as the Suffolk Mystery Authors Festival and the annual Artisan Gift Fair, and you have one very busy and productive tourism team. Over the last year, Suffolk Tourism has been working with JPEGs, a multimedia production company, to develop several Suffolk-branded videos. This endeavor was made possible through an American Rescue Plan Act Tourism Recovery Program grant, which not only supported a year of video shoots capturing different seasons and events, but also provided new advertising opportunities through traditional and online platforms. As part of Suffolk Tourism's Choose Your Own Adventure campaign, these promotions emphasize outdoor adventure showcasing a combination of local flavors, history, and art. Today, for the first time, we are debuting the new campaign kickoff video. Let's take a look and see how Suffolk is like no other.
The world has a way of sending a message. A breeze whispering across your face. The mesmerizing ripples spelling out a secret. Don't miss the voice in the wind-blown reeds, begging you to escape from the everyday spin. To pause and just be present. To just breathe. So you can discover new horizons, admiring the view with eyes wide open. To welcome a fresh perspective, to sample local dishes worth savoring. Delight in a new experience. Suffolk is brimming with undeniable charm, a unique blend of all Virginia has to offer. We take pleasure in the details. It's what we do. To lift your experience over the top. We know your time is precious. Let's make those moments memorable. Gather around the porch to tell stories. Bask in our unapologetic charm. Daydream in our music and art scene. Relax on our waterways. Visualize your perfect day, then make it a reality. Raise a glass to time well spent, to sharing a laugh, to taking it all in, to finding balance, to reconnect. Visit a place beyond compare. Suffolk, Virginia, like no other.
That concludes our State of the City program today. On behalf of the City of Suffolk, I'm grateful for all of you being here today to help us celebrate our 50th anniversary. I want to add a couple of other thank yous. A thank you to Kathy Lewis for your voiceover on the video productions. And a thank you to the team behind the scenes, to Jennifer Moore in the Media and Community Relations Department. And a special thank you to Asani Patterson for his expertise in operating the teleprompter. This sort made my job easier. I think we can all agree that the state of the city of Suffolk is nothing short of outstanding. We are strong, we are well positioned on many levels for further success. It's easy to see that after 50 short years, why Suffolk truly is like no other. Please join us in the hotel lobby for a dessert reception and have a great afternoon.